Good morning. I'm Pete Najarian. This is the Take for Market Rebellion. I tell you what, we kicked off October and we certainly have got September in the rear view right now. Unbelievable. The performance of September, we all know it. It was terrible. Going into the week, all of the different things that we were looking at throughout the entire month, the last weeks, the last week, the last day, everything. Absolutely unbelievable. But even more unbelievable has been the turn, at least in the first day and an hour, that we have seen so far. Yesterday, up 765 points on the Dow. Need I say more? Unbelievable. We also had a 235-point move from the NASDAQ. A little bit of a lag, quite frankly, with the NASDAQ. Part of that having to do with what we were seeing in certain very, very specific names, Tesla being one of those names. But we look at those volumes yesterday, a little over 40 million contracts yesterday, a pretty big day. By the way, September, 43.5 million contracts is what we averaged per day in the month of September. Gives you a little idea of the participation, the return from summer, and everybody just getting into the markets the way they did. And of course, the way the markets were trading, a lot of nervousness. We were seeing a lot of activity, both calls and puts, of course. Tesla, 2.5 million contracts yesterday. Apple, 1.5 million contracts yesterday. PBR, nearly 650,000 contracts yesterday. Oh, and by the way, Amazon, the name that everybody says doesn't change anything. Well, with all that volume, it certainly does change a lot about how Amazon has been trading. We had the volatility index yesterday, right around 30, sitting right there. We also had the VXN, the volatility of the NASDAQ. About 35.50 is where we found ourselves there. You had the 2-year pulling back extremely fast. I know it doesn't seem like it for anybody who's not used to watching these types of things, the treasuries, but that 2-year back down to a 409 yesterday. We had the 10-year, which was just at 4%, right around 363. By the way, both a little bit lower today. We'll be covering that in just a second. Energy. You want to talk about an explosive day? You've got crude up there near that 84 level. You have the nat gas right around 6.5. That has not been moving very much at all. It seems like nat gas has just found a spot and it's kind of moving in the sludge of nat gas right now. But I look at energy itself, almost a 6% move to the upside across the board with energy. Names like ConocoPhillips up 7.5%. You got Chevron up 5.5%. That's a monstrous name and a monstrous market cap to be making that kind of a move. Exxon had a great day yesterday. The materials space also very strong, up about 3.5%, led by Vale up 7%. Freeport-McMoRan up strong. Cliffs up strong. U.S. Steel. You go down across all of those different names across what we put ourselves in when we're talking about the material space. Very, very big move. We had a nice reversal out of Apple yesterday as well, up about 3%. Technology up about 3%. You also had great contributors, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, across the board. We were seeing an incredible move to the upside. Industrials led by Dow, Cat, Honeywell, all those names, those are up about 3%. We're talking 3% nearly across the board for the sectors. Unbelievable. Financials up nearly 3%. Led by Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citi, JP Morgan. Take your pick across the board. It actually was a little bit difficult to find too much that was in negative territory yesterday. There were a few, one of them pretty big. That was Tesla. Tesla down about 8% yesterday. We also had Twitter getting beat up a little bit. We had some of the cruise lines. You take a look over at a Carnival. You had some of the airlines. Look at American, J&J in the health world also. But the beta energy names, the energy names themselves, you look at something like a Marathon Oil, you look at Diamondback, you look at Devon, you look at APA, those names all just ripping to the upside yesterday. Lululemon with a nice big bounce back. Said some of those in the semiconductor world, like KLAC, Tencor, Applied Materials, those names having a big boost. Throw in Boeing, American Express, Walgreens. You get the idea. And today, almost a repeat of yesterday. Absolutely incredible. We were up 400 plus points in the pre-market, up almost 200 points for the NASDAQ. Just started ripping in this first hour. Actually, the first 45 minutes or so, we were already up over 700 points on the Dow, 350 points on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ still up somewhere close to that 330 points to 350 points early on, first hour. We also about a 700-point move for the Dow. This is a very, very explosive move. Now, before we get too caught up in things, Yes, we've had a 2-day move or a day and an hour move of about 1,400 plus points. But let's also remember where we're coming from as well, the sell-off. So always keep these things in the back of your mind. We see the volatility index slipping down underneath 29, somewhere near that 29 level. We're looking at the VXN kind of holding up a little bit more than expected, around just underneath 35 right now. The 2-year, as I mentioned, 407. You've got the 10-year sitting there right about 357. So you can see it just slipping now, just slipping just a little bit more and a little bit more. We talk about explosive moves, consumer discretionary. It was up early. It's flying up 4.25%. Materials, they were strong, got stronger, up about 3%. Technology, strong 2%, up 3.25%. We've got industrials that were up 2%, now 2.9%. You get the idea. Financials, communications, energy, everything has moved up in this first hour of trade dramatically by percentage moves. Absolutely incredible move to the upside. You got a name like Rivian that's up early. It was up 9% in the pre-market. They were talking about production and how it was up 67% from Q2 to Q3. It's a big number. You got a name like Gilead getting a little bit of love from JP Morgan, saying it's undervalued right now at the levels where it's trading. That was upgraded as well. So you've got a lot of different positives really working within the market right now as we speak. Airlines. Now today, they're ripping pretty good to the upside. You've got United, you've got American, you've got Delta, you've got all of them, it seems like, moving to the upside. How about in the transportation area with GM and Ford and Lucid, all those names having a pretty good start to the day. We also have the cruise ships turning around a little bit after just being sold and sold and sold and sold. This doesn't make up for too much, but it does make up just a little bit when you look at Carnival and Norwegian and some of those names. Amazon trading very well, Salesforce trading well, Microsoft, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all trading pretty well. I'll tell you what's tough today. It is tough to find much in negative territory. It really is. You're looking across and you're seeing just green across the screens, and you're looking at every single sector in the green, and in the green by a significant amount to the upside. At the close, you get the opportunity to see AJ Monty and my brother John together. They're going to be breaking down what's going on within this bear market that we have been in. Is this a bear market rally? A lot of those questions people will be asking. AJ's going to give you some of the answers. He's going to be looking at the charts. He's going to give you the breakdown of a lot of different stocks, as well as the technical analysis of that, along with the help of John. So that should be a lot of fun. You're going to want to sign up for that. That is right at the market close, something I don't think you want to miss, especially in a market like what we've got right now, where it was sold so hard in September. And now 2 days in, we've made back about 1,400 points. You're going to want to know what the charts are telling us. AJ's the man to do it. Now, got one unusual for you and we're out of here. How about FSLY, FSLY? Trading about $9.50. We've got a buyer of 5,100 of the October 7th. Today is the 4th. That means October 7th is Friday. So this is going to come very, very rapidly. But these are the 10 calls. So just out of the money calls, stock trading 9.5. These are the 10 calls. They're 11 cents up to about 18 cents for these options. Fairly inexpensive. Can this name make that kind of a move in a short period of time? We've got today and the next 3 days for this to move out of the way and move to the upside. We'll see if it's able to do that. Should be pretty interesting to watch that. And a whole lot of option activity today that we are seeing. It's amazing seeing some of the positives and some of the negatives, some of the protection that might be out there with some of those negatives with the puts and so forth. A lot of things to be keeping an eye on today. We will be watching it very closely, of course. And today is Tuesday. You know what that means? Rebel's Edge. We had it yesterday. We had some great calls yesterday, a lot of fun. And we got into the sports side of things. Really been a lot of fun doing that, along with the unusual, along with the top 4 items of the day and the macro minute. All of that today at 1 p.m. Eastern, Rebel's Edge. Look for that one. John and I really enjoy doing that. And I think we've heard a lot of great responses back as well. Look forward to seeing you then. Otherwise, see you at the market close with John and AJ breaking things down. I'm Pete Najarian. Have a great day of trading.